there'll be probably around 15 to 18 or 20 million SIM cards that needs to be registered, that are active. We're anticipating that the total SIM card registration will be about 100 million, more or less. And the remaining 50 million are the ones that are disposable, so to speak, the ones that are being used only once and for different purposes, either for telemarketing purposes or for scamming purposes. So with that 90 days, we believe that that will already give a lot of time to the public in order to fulfill the requirements of the law on the SIM card registration. We have noticed in the past few days there was a surge in the registration. Earlier, for several months, actually, we were only registering about 100,000 SIM card registrants. But in the last 2 weeks, we were averaging more than 1 million SIM card registration per day. So that just goes to show that the issue is not really limited ID or anything. It's just our bad habit of delaying to the last minute, the compliance to the law. So this is the last chance. The law actually has our hands tied. We're only allowed to do this extension once, and up to a certain period of time. Thereafter, it will be a hard deadline, and those who do not register will lose all services. They will lose the number. They will lose access to their their SIM card, which means they cannot call out, they cannot receive calls, they cannot text, and they will lose access also to their e-wallets and whatever financial services that are linked to their SIM cards. So I urge the public really to register quickly. We are exploring some options that will be available to us in order to incentivize our public to register. We did not put those conditions in the first SIM card registration, but because of our observation that people are not taking our deadlines seriously, we are now exploring other options to incentivize registration. So one is that we're talking to our telcos. During the 90-day period, we will observe the rate of registration, and after a certain period of time, we're seeing maybe 30 days or 60 days into registration, we will start deactivating some services on the SIM card. So for those who are registered within the first 30 or 60 days, we're still deciding on the date, but let's say after the 60 days, you will lose your access to your Facebook accounts or to your TikTok accounts, but you still can use your phone, you can still call, you can still text, and then after a certain period, you will lose your outgoing calls. So that way, ramdam nyo kung anong effect na hindi kayo nagpaparehistro. And so eventually, once we reach the 90-day period, you will lose completely all services to all your SIM card. So those are still being threshed out by the telcos as to which ones will be easier for them to implement and how do we schedule the gradual reduction of the services. So yung mga matitigas ang ulo, they wanted some convincing whether we're serious or not. Makakatikim sila ng itong mga incentives namin in order to let yes, minsan siguro, that's the only language, that some of our countrymen can understand. So, so with that. Kami yung telcos, baka kung pwedeng kung mga registration, dagdagan ng load or something. Malulugi daw sila doon. So kawawa naman sila. So we're exploring the possibility of gradually doing this. That way, it will definitely make the public feel that we're serious with the deactivation without completely cutting them off the services. But after the 90 days, that's when they will feel the full cut off of all services. So with that, well, I'd like also to remind everybody to be very alert on all the scams, text or 7 text scams a day. But after we announced the SIM card registration, it was down to about just 1 or 2 text scams per day. But recently, because of the nearness to the registration, and apparently many of the scammers saw an opportunity now, because people are posing as your SIM numbers, and that you need to register with them again and provide them with all those details. Those did not come from your banks. Those did not come from your banks. So do not be fooled by those. That's another opportunity to deceive the public. Unfortunately, with this announcement of a 90-day extension, we expect that text scams will going to incur nefarious activities. So it was a pro and con, really, of the SIM card registration. Ultimately, it is really for our own good and to protect the public from all these criminal activities and all these scams that are going about. So I'm just issuing this warning to the public. Expect an increase in the scams within this 90-day period, because we've just opened the floodgates again to them. We're okay?
We have some time for some questions?
Yes. Go
Okay. Chona, you, Radio Inquirer.
Sir, good afternoon. How are you going to address the problem na marami po ang gusto magparehistro pero down ang system, hindi nila nakakapasok sa sistema ng mga telcos?
I think hindi naman down yung past 6 months, no? There may be down, maybe a day or two, but it's not consistently down. So kung nag-down nung time